Hello, hello. Good day, good day. August 2nd. Another day, another session. We're making some nice progress. We, at the start, picked up a bunch of journal rewards that we got from, I think, the stream where we were doing depths. So now after max standing on the abyssal depths, and I'm pretty close to the kills, and the only thing I'm missing, I think, on depths is the mini bosses. Another thing that you can see is that I got a message like, hey, yo, you got some more focus, we have some more materials, you want to come over? And I maxed out my arcane crafting. That was cool. Very nice, very nice. Very happy about that. After that, we go back to the city and do our usual log in the crafter, make some carrot soups, refill the buildings. I was mentioning that, I think in the last video, that we would get a wood bonus today. That will actually technically happen later at the downtime. So right now we still don't have a wood bonus, but nevertheless I'm logging around the odds, making carrot soups, making carrots, making chicken, and so on and so forth. Just, using up the focus and refilling the boxes. We're making quite a lot of carrot soup. The cool thing is if you have multiple characters, you can use one of them, ideally your lowest spec one, to move stuff around, and the other one who is just staring at the green bar going up. You can do that on a second client, maybe third, fourth, fifth client at the same time. I think I said it last time or last video. I definitely recommend to have multiple characters logged in at the same time if you're doing like larger size, long time crafting. I could also be using the salad here, but for some reason I don't have it look. One of these trips when I go back to pick up stuff, I gotta do a buy order for a potato salad, which will then increase the carrot soup crafting time and other crafting times. Definitely worth it. Still doing a bunch of meat buying, meat selling, storing. Doing a run here actually to Thetford with some ore. Can fit in quite a lot, and I think the mammoth value must be somehow calculated around 6.1 because you get 47.2 stacks or so in there of 6.1 ore, or 6.1 unrefined materials in general with a tier 6 backpack, the gatherer backpack. Deliver it there. And I think here is the time where I do notice that we might have some group action going on in the hideout. And I was like, oh, cool. Spoiler, we will get some more golden chests. Somebody scouted a road next to the hideout that had something up. And then I think I even went in to also do some scouting because we were going to do it. And then I was like, you know what? I will take a peek. The first road I looked in, it just had connections to other zones which didn't have a connection. Then the second one I scouted, I actually found a direct connection to a guild zone, and the guild zones often have connections to the tier 8 zones, the 20-man portals. The one I found then had another guild zone connection. I went through and then noticed, oh wait, there is a 20-man portal here. And then when I go there, I was like, oh, jackpot. So we call that out. We sort of have enough people online, luckily, form up and do. I get to heal again, yay. But we again get a pretty good group in terms of DPS. I think we get a blazing, we get a tank, we get a dawn. I forgot the other two, but overall, very strong PvE comp. Spoiler alert for the very end of the video, we get jumped again. Since it's quite a big or long run, it's 3 zones, we had to deal with not all charges being open. So some people had to wait for the charges to go in, so we didn't go completely as a group. And I wasn't quite sure if I remember the way right, so I just went ahead and scouted again. And then since we were waiting for everybody, I just did a little bit of gathering. And then we end up going 2-3 roads deep from our hideout and ending up in a tier 8 zone. You can see what kind of zone it is by clicking the mobs and looking at their tier. Also, the tier 8 zones have the tier 6 resource mobs, but the tier 8 zones pack quite a bigger punch if you do it. I think last video we saw us doing some tier 6. These ones actually hurt. If you look a little bit at the HP of our group going up and down and up and down, these guys actually, pack a punch. I think we were also looking at the time. We were dealing with a little bit of time pressure because we saw the server downtime approaching. So we were a little bit in a rush here. Yeah, 20 minutes to go. But in terms of strategy, it's the same. You basically have a comp tank that, puts everything together. Then you have the Royal Robe that gives damage amp to all the DPS, and then you go for it in. Yeah, then for the Colossus, I think I discussed the strategy last time. I'll explain it again later when we struggle a bit more. But yeah, the first one actually, quote unquote, bugged out. He didn't attack. So we were able to super easily get that one. It was a golden chest. We got like 48 million in that one. It's pretty cool. The same zone had another one up, which was crazy. And then we were like, oh, all right, well, we have 15 minutes. How about we try it? But the second one, for some reason, well, not for some reason, we struggled because we didn't actually do the fight properly. So how this works is that the boss will generate charges over time, and then every few minutes or a few seconds will discharge, and that sends a bolt of lightning to all moving party members. And if nobody's moving, then he doesn't damage anybody, but he gets charges. But that buffs his auto attack, and that wrecks the tank if you let him charge up. So you need to make him discharge on purpose, run around when he shoots the balls of lightning at your team members, and then the guys need to run these bolts away from the rest of the group. Ideally, maybe with dodge on the boots, so you can, when you're about to get hit, just dodge, get in, don't take damage, and then return back to your spot. It's like fanning out. I think Ian called it dance move last time. It's a balance of trying to not get the boss charge up too much so the tank doesn't get wrecked, essentially. After downtime, we log back in. We decide to bank the 50 million first. So we have to make a trip all the way back. I think somebody wanted to change his gear or something too. Maybe I think we had one more pickup. So we all go back. Bloop. I was thinking, hey, I might just get some gear too, refresh, get the hideout bonus, the fame bonus again. And then we went right back to the same location. Through 3 roads, through 2 hideout zones, into the 20-man portal. We were a little bit worried about stuff despawning after the downtime, but turns out it just stayed as is. So even after the server went up, nothing. The one boss was down, and then the one we still had up, we could do. And then I think we need like 2 or 3 attempts for the second boss to get it done finally. The trash respawned, of course, but the boss didn't change. So what we ended up doing was getting owned a few times before everybody sort of learned the fight a bit. And then we first, I think, attempted me not moving so it wouldn't shoot at me and everybody else just moving. But that didn't quite work, so I think we settled at me moving once or twice at the very beginning, and then towards when it gets more dangerous for the tank, I just stand still and everybody else moves. Yeah, then we go to the other northwestern chest here, realize that, wait, the boss is missing, question mark? And then we get a little bit of a surprise. I think we now twice made the same mistake of not properly scouting. It should be fairly obvious that there's nobody, but that there might be somebody if the boss is missing and some of the trash is still up. But yeah, we didn't properly scout everywhere. We started PvE, and then just when we were almost finished with a pack. They sort of had their skills changed. They went north, so they hid. I think they were looking at us, and then they're like, all right, they're fighting. Let's go push. And then they come running in. Their tank gets a catch on us, and then AoE DPS catches 2. Both of these guys get immediately reduced to like 1 bar. One guy dies. He can sort of escape. I tried. They also caught me in the root, but didn't get the damage off. But at this point, we're in a very bad spot. We have 1 down. Everybody else is very low. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shooting at us. We have a tank in the midline. We have another tank disrupting us. They look like a fight comp too. So we are in very big trouble. They get a nice. We sort of get a clump. The way they caught us at the beginning and immediately owned 2 of our DPS was just too much of an upfront hit. That had us in trouble. That I don't think we just couldn't stabilize properly. And then they just chase us down. Eventually they just catch me. Was a bit tough, but I do think that 3 of our group still make it out regardless. Another learning here is that if you just have the suspicion of something that might be up, send 1 guy to scout. Like you can do most of the PvE with 1 less guy. And if you want to be sure, just go ahead and scout. Information is king in Albion, and if you can make that happen, if you can create, or if you can scout and get that information done to feel safe, to be sure, then it's always the better option. It shouldn't take so long. It's like a 20-30 second ride around in the general vicinity. Anyway, the fame was good. The boss was good. 50 mil was nice. I got one of the achievements for the legendary or the orange yellow chest. That was great from the first boss. And I'm definitely looking forward to doing this kind of PvE a bit more. I think in just doing 2 or 3 bosses and a little bit of that, I got a lot of fame already for Hellfall. So that was fun. That was neat. Dying was so-so. But I think where this came from, there will be more. So hope you enjoy. See you around and have a good day.